arọ́mọdé dé kó má má já o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé àfihàn kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè tètè tó sí tó. Kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé rárá kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n arọ́mọdé dé kó má má já o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé àfihàn kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè tètè tó sí tó. Kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé rárá kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n arọ́mọdé dé kó má má já o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé àfihàn kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè tètè tó sí tó. Kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé rárá kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n arọ́mọdé dé kó má má já o Èkó arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ Èkó àkété arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o Èkó arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé àfihàn kò má sí dúdá arọ́mọdé dé kó má má já o Èkó arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o Èkó arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé àfihàn kò má sí dúdá òpè rárá kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé ọgbọ́n rárá kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé kòwé o kò má sí dúdá òpè kòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n arọ́mọdé dé kó má má já o eku arómísà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́gbẹ̀ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o eku arómísà kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Àfihàn kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèbè ló sì jò. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Àfihàn kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèkòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Arọ́mọdé dẹ́ kó má má já o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Àfihàn kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèbè ló sì jò. Kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèkòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Arọ́mọdé dẹ́ kó má má já o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Àfihàn kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèbè ló sì jò. Kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèkòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Arọ́mọdé dẹ́ kó má má já o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Àfihàn kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèbè ló sì jò. Kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò máa sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bèkòwé o kò máa sí dúdá òbè. Bèkòwé o bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Lagos nílé ó dára òun wá o. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó àkété ilé ọgbọ́n. Arọ́mọdé dẹ́ kó má má já o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ arọ́mọdé tẹ́jẹ́ kó má má sá o. Èkó arọ́ mi sá. Ẹgbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Àfihàn Bekowe oko masiru ta obe. Bebe to sito. O masiru ta obe kowe. Rara ko masiru ta obe kowe. Bekowe oko masiru ta obe. Bekowe obe ni. Ko masiru ta obe kowe. Rara ko masiru ta obe kowe. Bekowe oko masiru ta obe. Bekowe obe ni. Bekowe o dara o. Aromode de ko mama ja o. Eku akete. Eku aromi sa. Ilé ọgbọ́n. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Eku akete. Aromode de ko mama sa o. Aromode de ko mama ja o. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Eku aromi sa. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Apiro. Aromode de ko mama sa o. Eku aromi sa. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Apiro. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sá òbè. Bebe tó sí tó. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bekowe òbè. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bekowe òbè ni. Lagos nílé ó dára ó mú wá o. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Èkó aromisa ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Èkó aromisa ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀ kòwé. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Èkó aromisa ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Apiro kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bebe tó sí tó. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bekowe òbè ni. Lagos nílé ó dára ó ọgbọ̀n wá o. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó aromisa. Èkó akete. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Ilé ọgbọ́n. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Èkó aromisa. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Aromọdé dé kó má má sá o. Èkó aromisa. Ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Apiro kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bebe tó sí tó. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bekowe òbè ni. Lagos nílé ó dára ó mú wá o. Èkó akete. Ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó akete. Ilé ọgbọ́n. Aromọdé dé kó má má já o. Èkó aromisa ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Aromọdé dé kó má má sá o. Èkó aromisa ẹ̀bẹ̀lẹ̀bẹ̀. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Apiro kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bebe tó. Kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Rárá kò má sí dúdá òbè kòwé. Bekowe oko má sí dúdá òbè. Bekowe òbè ni. Lagos nílé ó mú wá o. Èkó akete. Ilé ọgbọ́n. Èkó akete. ilé ọgbọ́n arọmọdé dẹ kó má má já o eku arọmísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ arọmọdé dẹ kó má má sá o eku arọmísà lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́ kò má síjú tá o bè kówé àpirọ́ kò má síjú tá o bè.
Ìfẹ́ Ìfẹ́ jọ sáré wá bá mi palẹ̀kùn yín dé. Right, a very beautiful morning to you from wherever it is you're joining us in the beautiful city of Lagos, in the Federation of Nigeria, or if you're in the diaspora. I want to say a very good morning to you, and I want to welcome you to this another edition of monthly webinar, the Greater Lagos Rising Series. I do not know if I'm the only one here. If you can hear me, can I get some reaction in the house? I can see that we already have a lot of people that have joined the meeting. I can see Mr. Babajide Arulogun. I can see, all right, Mr. Oyemi Yusuf. Thank you for joining us this morning. We aim to always start on time. And I think we're just about 3 minutes behind schedule. But nevertheless, I want to welcome you to yet another wonderful edition after a very short break. The last time we had the Greater Lagos Rising Series was in August, and it was a very wonderful session with the Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Health Management Agency, Dr. Emmanuel Azamba, and she rolled out, the packages that the Lagos State government had for Lagosians in terms of health insurance. She talked extensively about Adeeko and all the goodies, all that people, Lagosians, stand to enjoy. It was a very interactive and explosive and interesting one. And today promises to be no different. As you know, the purpose of this webinar is to spotlight, showcase the policies and programs of the Lagos state government. However, sometimes we try to do something a little bit out of the box so that we can also learn something that is, not related to government. And today is that day in the year 2025 where we look at something interesting and something also different from what we do in our regular run of mill in the public service. um, it's a wonderful morning to be here. I can see a lot of our wonderful directors have already joined us too. You are all highly welcome. Let me just check if the Director General PSSDC is here with us. Although he has already, you know. All right. Given that he's not with us, and without wasting much time, I would like to invite the director whose purview we are in is in his terrain today, the director of ICT PSSDC, our own amiable, wonderful Oga, who drove us late into the night yesterday, and yet he's never tired. He's already with us this morning, Mr. Akim Adetono. to deliver the opening remarks on behalf of the Director General PSSDC. Um, Mr. Aditono, sir, if you can hear me, sir, you have the floor for the opening remarks. You can unmute yourself, sir. Mr. Aditono, are you there, sir? Probably he's having some challenges with his network or with unmuting. Okay. Um, Perhaps Mr. Babajide Arulogun, you're also there. I've seen you. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you can unmute and bail us out this morning with the opening address before we begin. This is also your terrain.
Okay, Mr. Budget, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to our directors and other powers in the house. Good morning to other leaders and to our contemporaries. So today is another edition of the Knowledge Impacting program that is powered by the Lagos State Public Service Staff Development Center. And today, like the anchor has rightly explained, that we will be doing something that has to do with skill acquisition in the most modern sphere of life right now, which is the artificial intelligence. And so I want to welcome everyone to this expository session. And I strongly believe that after this session, all of us will have learned more than one wow thing. I am so certain about how to deploy artificial intelligence to optimize our various work processes, regardless of the sector where we function. So, once again, I want to welcome you, and I also follow the facilitator, and I've been following the facilitator for a while now, and I know that even this time frame that has been allocated to the session is not going to be enough for him to. He can take us on weeks of knowledge, skill building when it comes to artificial intelligence. So be prepared. You need to even have your laptop or another phone somewhere or your jotter, because you will be noting down things that you will spend the rest of probably 6 months to explore, and you will see that your work processes will never remain the same. Excellence, excellence upon excellence will be your experience. So
All right.
thank you, everyone. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Babajide Arulogun, for that welcome address, wonderfully delivered on behalf of the Director General PSSDC. Uh, yes, without wasting much time, he has already let the cat out of the bag. We'll be talking about artificial intelligence today. Before I introduce the speaker, perhaps I should share a personal story. I think it was a few years ago that ChatGPT was launched, and everybody thought about it and said, "Oh, this is the next best thing on the internet after the internet and all that." And we thought it was just going to be a revolutionary, innovation that changes the way we create content in the written form. But today, artificial intelligence is really shaken up the workspace, the world of work. I recently was contacted to get a math tutor for somebody. I reached out to one of my mentees and offered him the job, but he said, "No, Mr. Gbaja, I won't be able to take this job. I'm very busy right now with an international company that I'm working for." 3 months later, he came back and said, "Mr. Gbaji, that job you were offering me, can I have it?" And I said, "No." "What happened to the international company you were working for?" He said, "Well, they engaged me to solve mathematics for them, but apparently they were using my solutions to train their AI. And now the AI is perfect, and the young man is out of a job." And just yesterday, I saw another young aspiring music producer in my office who is already out of a job that he is aspiring to do, in his future, because he once just showed him, perfect music, perfectly mixed, that has been done by, artificial intelligence. And that is to tell you that the world of work is really, really undergoing a massive earthquake. But I'm no expert in the field. The expert is the man that we have brought to talk to us, Mr. Olalekan Adeeko. If you know him, you know that as Yorubas will say, Ikutuba pa AI. Mr. Olalekan Adeeko. He's the co-founder TedPrime Limited, AI solutions evangelist and learning analyst. He's a tech educator and data analyst committed to transforming education through artificial intelligence, data analytics, and culturally grounded innovation. As a co-founder of TedPrime Limited, he leads initiatives like AI for Educators, Edu Girls Can Code, and his ability reaching teachers and underserved communities across Nigeria, Ghana, and Botswana. Through TedPrime Hub and TACBay, it builds platform that equips young youth informal workers with digital skills. His invention, EduBox, won first prize at the Union Bank EdTech Challenge. He has trained over 65,000 professionals and teachers in 3 countries in Africa and mentored over 2,900 professionals in sectors like health, finance, education, and sales. He creates Yoruba language tech content to expand access and relevance. He's a Microsoft MVP, certified trainer, and innovative education expert. He's also in education and ethical tech adoption. His efforts continue to drive inclusive data-informed learning across Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me. Let me see those emojis popping out as a welcome to take the stage. Uh, a man that many look up to in this era of disruption in the workplace, Mr. Olalekan Adeeko. Mr. Adeeko, over to you, sir. You have the stage. Mr. Adeeko.
Yeah, I'm with you. Good morning, Mr. Raji. Good morning, Mr. Arulogo. Good morning, all the directors in the house. I would start by saying thank you for having me. I love what you're doing. I think this will probably be the second time our paths are crossing. The first time I wasn't even part of the whole thing, but I got to know about what you're doing. I'm not sure we have other states doing something like this. Taking public servants as important stakeholders in the development of the state, of the nation, and then you come up with different programs to empower them. We talk about human capital development, which is one of the key things driving the fourth industrial revolution. So thank you for having me. And then the topic we will be discussing today is very, very important, just like Mr. Balogun said. It is something that will help every one of us to be able to do better, deliver our job better as civil servants, and then personally too. How do we help ourselves too as individual? We want a situation whereby we're not just learning to help the state, we are also learning to help ourselves. So it is really, really critical, and I love what we're doing. And I hope at the end of today's session, we will be able to, achieve our goals of, putting this topic in the mix today. And all of us, we will want to sit back and say, this is what I want to be doing going forward. All right. So I want to believe you can see my screen. You can just give me a thumbs up if you can see my slide before I continue. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Blanket. Thank you, Sulaimon. All right. So I have the Greater Lagos Rising on my screen. The topic is artificial intelligence and the future of work. The future of work. Yes, we say future of work, but I would say it's even the present of work, is the now and the future of work. So how do we marry the two? How will it affect us? AI, how does it affect us as civil servants, as individuals, as somebody who wants to thrive in this new world order? So we will be looking at it from these lenses: a new era for Lagos, challenges, our AI in action, the human upgrade, and of course, building a smarter tomorrow. So we will be looking at it from this lens. How can AI solve city challenges and serve citizens? I want to believe this is like the main reason why we are here today. AI is transforming the way governments around the world, work. For Lagos, the first sector, it means faster service delivery. It means better decision making. It means smarter use of resources. And we're not talking about robots, changing the world, or robots, killer robots here, doing all sorts of things. It's not about that. It's about how can AI solve our problems? What are the problems that we see? Then how can we leverage AI to solve it? Okay, how about using intelligence to serve the people better? For us as directors, for us as officers, for us as special advisors or government appointees, how can all of us use intelligence to serve the people better? Before we even jump into what AI can do and how we can actually use it, maybe we need to set the tone and remind ourselves again what artificial intelligence is all about and what that means, in today's world. Artificial intelligence is not something that, came about maybe 2022 when OpenAI launched ChatGPT. No, it is something that people have been using for long, right from the 50s, the 60s, just as the military and the big boys, when we say the big boys, the Fortune 500 companies, something they have been using, in their own spaces, not accessible to us, the members of the public. But in 2022, OpenAI said, you know what, we want to give access to AI. We want everybody to have access to AI. We want to make it open. Their name, they want open AI. And that is why they launched ChatGPT, which is what we also now refer to as, generative AI. They said we want everybody to be able to use artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence on its own is that science whereby machines, systems can mimic human beings, can behave like humans, things that ordinarily were reserved for human beings. You now have machines doing those things. That is artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is like a big umbrella, and under it we have different domains too, like the machine learning, like the deep learning, and the last part is the generative AI, which is what we're going to be focusing more on at this particular point in time. Generative AI. This is the AI that can create new content, text, audio, video, write codes for us. So we can just write a simple prompt, and from there, it will be able to help us, do what? Generate something new. For example, you want a chatbot that citizens can send questions to, and then it responds to them as if they are chatting with somebody at the other end of the message. Not something that you will send a message and you just be responding with, some of those things that we're used to, maybe the bands or DSTV, we say press 1, press 2. No, this time around, you want it to take in your words, your queries, and then respond based on the data that it has been trained with, or the knowledge source. You're talking about AI that can look at the data and then predict and say, with the rate at which rain is falling now, in the next few days, if we're not careful, we're likely going to have flood in a particular area. So we will now be proactive and not just reactive. For us as civil servants, we're talking about that tool that can help us automate some of the things that we do. We will still, go very deep into all these things, but just to summarize again, artificial intelligence we're talking about is the science where machines, systems can easily learn, reason, and assist human beings. I deliberately put that there. Assist human beings. So we are not talking about machines that will now displace us totally and then take control. So a new era for Lagos when we talk about artificial intelligence, because at the end of this meeting, I hope that all of us on the call will go back and say, you know what, I want to, contribute my own quota. I want to do things in a better way, and collectively we will shape that new Lagos that we all want. Lagos has always been a city that never sleeps, but now we are entering a new era, an era not defined by how fast we work, but how smartly we work. And AI is that tool that can help us to work, very, very smart. So this is about building a government that learns, that adapts, and responds before challenges grow into crisis. That is key. I'll repeat that again. We want a government that learns, adapts, and responds before challenges grow into crisis. So let's look at the Lagos where complaints are even resolved before citizens repeat them, where decisions are made from data, not guesses. That is the Lagos that we can create if all of us are able to come together and leverage artificial intelligence. So we want a new Lagos that will give us faster service, that will help with better decision, that will help with a smarter use of resources on all levels, right from level 1 officer level to level 17 officers to the government appointees to the governor and even the people, the populace, everybody. That Lagos will want faster service delivery, better decision making, and these are the things that AI can give us. But what are the challenges that we have at the moment that we can use AI to solve? I wrote something like maybe a week ago that many people around the world now, not just in Nigeria, they're like, oh, we are talking about AI, we're talking about AI. So I just want to plug in AI into everything. No, we have to first of all sit down and say, what are the challenges? Then, how can we leverage artificial intelligence to help resolve some of these challenges? So, what are the key challenges in Lagos at the moment? If I ask us to drop it in the chat, I know we start dropping a whole lot of things in the chat, right? But I kind of identify maybe just 4 and then use them as case studies to show us how AI can help with some of these challenges. Then we can sit back in our various offices from health to education to finance to environment to transportation and say, what are the key challenges that we face? Then how can I plug in AI to help us drive the change? So we all know Lagos is full of energy, and then with such energy and that population, we were bound to have challenges here and there. Traffic, the population growth, urban planning, there is data overload. But the truth is, every problem we face carries hidden intelligence with it. Every problem we face, I said, carries intelligence, hidden intelligence within it. The data Lagos generates every minute is enough to guide every decision we make. If we can learn how to use it, that is where AI comes in. It helps us turn that daily chaos into clarity. It will help us plan, anticipate, and manage better. We're talking about population. We have data about how many people are living in Lagos. How can we use this data to better plan when we talk about housing, to better plan when we talk about, redefining the roads, when we talk about, okay, this is what will happen in the next few months so that we can be ahead of that challenge and not just be reactive. These are the key challenges. Then we can now sit down and say, how can we leverage artificial intelligence to help, drive, help solve the problem of population growth? I think somebody even dropped something in the chat. Thank you. Just keep it coming. I'm seeing all our chats here. Somebody posted something regarding other challenges there. Yes. So urban planning, safety, security, how can we leverage all this data? I know we've got CCTV cameras here and there. We've got people, you register your car, you do all these registrations here and there. We have addresses of everybody. We know the age group of everybody. We know where people are staying. And all these can help us in education. Where should the next school be planted? In security, do we need new set of, vehicles that will be parked at different places to help us? So there are challenges. Then how can artificial intelligence now help? So I will just use practical use cases just to open up our minds for us to start thinking how we can use this thing. So when people hear AI, some people imagine that as robots taking over. Maybe they love watching movies. Maybe they watch iRobots, and maybe they're like me that love watching movies. They watch iRobots and they're like, oh, we don't want to talk about AI. We don't want robots that will, start fighting everybody on the street of Lagos. No. So the real story is AI taking over the boring parts of our job, the repetitive parts of our job, so that we can focus on what truly matters. It is not about making us to become lazy, because I hear this argument here and there. Personally, I've been telling people I find myself doing more now with AI, because those things that before I see them as challenges, I'm like, I can't go beyond this. I can't even do this. I can't take on this challenge at the moment. But right now, I say, bring it on. So with my co-pilot, with my AI as my co-pilot, as my assistant, I feel we can take over, we can take on many things at a time. So it should help us focus on what truly matters. And let us see this as our digital assistants. Imagine you want to draft memo. You already have your jottings, but you now need to write it in the format that is acceptable in civil service. Mind you, again, you already have your jottings. So you can tell AI to use your jottings and write it in the format that you're supposed to write your memo. What will that do for you? It will save you the time of drafting 10 times, and the director will say, you know what, you didn't put I here. Your grammar was wrong, or this comma should not be here. You are saving yourself that headache if you want to use it to, draft your memo, to summarize long document. People have submitted bids, they've submitted different write-up, they submitted complaints, and you need to read and understand all these contents, and then carefully itemize what you want to discuss at the meetings, what you want to discuss with the commissioner or whoever that needs to act on those things. You don't need to read the 20, 30, 100 pages. You can tell AI to help you itemize, fetch, summarize it, and give you the bullet points. Or you yourself, you want to digest many things and then come up with a write-up that you want to submit to the director. AI can help summarize all those long documents and help you kind of easily make sense of what is there. Or you want to help citizens get answers while you are asleep. We want the Lagos that people can say something is happening and they are able to pick a call somebody, maybe AI is responding, or they send message, AI is responding, even while we are sleeping, based on the knowledge, the knowledge we must have fed it. It is like multiplying your time and brain power. Governments across the world are already using it for budgeting. I read about, is it Estonia? No, no, no. It's one country. Is it Estonia now? Yeah, one country that they appointed AI minister. They appointed AI minister that the country's parliament were like arguing about it, and the president said, no, we want this AI minister. And the job of the AI minister is to proofread and analyze the project bids people are submitting to government. The president said, I want to fight against corruption. People are inflating budgets. People are just bringing outrageous budget for different projects. I want AI, you will pass your bids and every project to be done by the government through the AI, because AI will be analytical. AI will look at everything and say, no, no, you can't be doing a kilometer with this. This is the rate that it was done last year in the same location and all that. So government are already using it for budgeting, for planning. So you want to plan. We have 20 million people today. In the next few years, with the rate at which people are giving birth, because you plug in the birth rate record from all the hospitals in Lagos State, so you are getting that, plus the deaths record too from the hospital. So you're like, in the next 1 year, the population should be 25 million. Then that means we need to make provision for the additional 5 million people that will probably be in Lagos State. That means we need more buses. That means we need housing routes. That means we need this and we need that. So we can use it for budgeting. We can use it for public communication. I love the fact that Mr. Agbaje mentioned somebody using AI for audio. That's something new now too again, right? That many people are using. There is even an artist in the US now that was signed for $3 million. AI artist. So the person created imaginary artists, and then AI is singing the song, play the instrument, all those things. So AI is now doing it. So for public communication, we want to create adverts, we want to create songs on different things, and we want to push it out there. We can leverage it to do all these things. So Lagos should not be an exception. Lagos should be the leader. Lagos is always has always been the leader. Yes, I'm not from Lagos State, but we can't say what we can't just not you know give kudos to where kudos is supposed to be given. Yeah. So how AI transforms in decision making, AI can help to create that enabling, proactive, data driven leadership. So we want all of us in our various office, because we are the one that will make recommendations to the government. Many people will look up to the government and say they are not doing this, they are not doing that, they are not doing this. But these people are not existing in isolation. These people rely on feedback from the PS, from the directors, from every one of us. And what we get to the director is also coming from the table of one officer. So one officer will write the memo, push it to the deputy director, push it to the director, to the PS, the commissioner, and then to the governor. And then at the end of the day, we will now be the one to still complain and say they are not doing things the way they're supposed to do it. So we want it from the ground up for all of us to be able to, the decisions we are making should be guided by data. Nobody should just wake up and say, I want to do this because of my gut feeling, or because I just feel like I want to do it, or maybe because I'm from that particular location. So you want to recommend a new BRT lane in your own area, not because it's been guided by data, but because you just want it. So decision making should be data driven. It should be based on data, and you don't need to be an analyst to analyze your data. AI can help you with the analysis of your data, break it down, create charts, create all those things that you need, and then you will be able to see clearly that what has been happening. We collect a lot of data in Lagos, in different states, even in Nigeria. At times we even duplicate this data, but oftentimes we hardly use them to work. Maybe because we don't have the data analytics skill. But right now with AI, it can help us analyze this large set of data for better decision, for efficiency, automating repetitive work for public servant. Every day or every Friday, you need to write the same reports, write the same memo, come up with this. You do like almost the same thing every Friday based on what must have happened from Monday to that Friday. But you can automate the process. Maybe you create presentation, you write your report. You can automate the process and say, when I push my notes to this particular place, help me write it and then put it in the right format. We can automate that repetitive work. I do tell people that my church, I'm kind of responsible for managing the social media platform, Facebook, Instagram. I can't even remember the last time I was there myself. But every day, 10 a.m. every day, you always see a post on our pages. You see picture and post on our Instagram. Things are moving, right? Even when I'm kind of busy and not even available to do all those things. You can do automation. There is what we call AI automation now. When you receive a mail, maybe you have a mail dedicated for the public to be sending in their complaints. You can create automation for that. Instead of you opening 500 mails every day to now write out the complaints from people or what they are saying, you can set up automation on make.com, for example, or on N8N. Right now, Google Opal 2 is there. There are different tools. Zapier is there for automation. So you can say when a new mail comes in, read the mail, do the sentiment analysis, then push whatever they are saying in an Excel sheet. Write it as the name of the person, the location where the person is sent in the message, if that content will be in the mail, and what the person has complained about. That way, you already have access to what people are sending in. That is just one example of automation. Or if you want it in a way that in your office, you're deploying Microsoft 365, for example, if the officer should draft something and push a button, it goes automatically to the deputy director. The deputy director can minute on it and then send it to the director. You can automate the process, of everything you're doing. You can build co-pilots using Copilot Studio and say, this is what you want to do. This is how you want to do it. I was at University of Lagos for AgentCon last week. Yes, last week Friday, not yesterday, but the last week Friday, where we talked about AI agents and all that. So we now have AI agents, and these are the tools that will take initiatives and then be doing stuff on their own. So they're not just you waiting for you to key in. You key in the end goal, and this agent will map out strategies on how to achieve it and then begin to follow it and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, even when you're there, when you're not there. Once a trigger has been set in motion, it does this, and that. We do a lot of repetitive work as civil servants. Yes, I was a civil servant at some point, so I know what we do, write memo. At times, some people will be like, we're just doing the same thing every now and then. So you can automate this process, right? And for engagement, we want to create a more responsive 24/7 government. This is one of the things that people see out there. And when they come back, they start to kind of compare with what is going on in our country. That 247 responsiveness is important. We should have, each department should have like a bot, a WhatsApp bot or a Telegram bot or whatever that people can go and chat with, and it will appear as if you're chatting with a human being, because that chat will have all the information that human beings will be able to provide. Even human being will still tell you, please hold on. When you're calling DSTV or MTN, you're complaining, they'll say, please, can you hold on? Or even they say, can we hold on? What are they doing? They are trying to check and check and check before they respond. If you fed your AI with the knowledge base, it will even tell you, hold on, because it has everything and it can sift through the vast amount of data and be responding to people proactively. That way, we are bringing people together. People will see that our government is responsive. If you make a complaint now, they will respond almost immediately. You can connect it and log it to the firefighters or the emergency line. Even our emergency line, human being are the one responding, right? We can even plug it to AI. You can use tools like Vapi to create, like a voice agent that you call in phone number, and AI will be the one responding and say, please, where are you calling from? Oh, I'm calling from Agege. Oh, which part of Agege? You start mentioning those areas because it has the information. Okay, we had one fire incident last night and nobody has been able to go out. Oh, we are coming. The firefighters will be there in the next minute. Immediately after the call, the AI sends a message to the firefighters department. They get the notification and swing into action. So we can use AI to help us drive decisions, drive efficiency, and also drive engagement. We need this. We want to support people, and we want a situation whereby the citizens will have a platform where they can always go there, do their complaints, and see how you follow up on all those things. Still more on decision making. It can now help our leaders to act proactively rather than reactively. Because they have been pre-informed. They've done the prediction, you've done the analysis, you've predicted that in the next few months, so if we are not careful, this and this will likely happen. So we should be at the forefront of it. With the way people are trooping into Lagos, our public schools will not be able to handle the number of students again. Yes, it will be swift and smarter. Thank you, Ajibola. With the way people are coming into Lagos, our schools will need more schools, or we can even add more buildings to the existing schools, or we also need more teachers. So we will be making smart decisions and not just be reactive. And what is that we need to make these smart decisions. I tell you, we have them already. You have data. That is the key thing. Data is the food, for AI. So if without good data, AI is will just be AI. Won't be able to do really an effective job. So we've got hospital data, we've got weather data, we've got population data, we've got data everywhere, vehicle data. We even have cameras, CCTVs that is capturing the number of people going on the Third Mainland Bridge or different cities in Lagos. We've got the data. Can we now leverage this data, to predict? For example, if you have hospital and weather data, can we predict disease outbreak? If we are checking in the records from the hospital, 5 people, 20 people in the last 1 week, they have been complaining about this and this and that, then we will be able to map and say, there is something going on in the health now. Then we need to swing into actions and not wait before it becomes a pandemic, and then we won't be able to handle it. All the financial reports, different departments, different agencies, you have your financial report. You can leverage AI to see through all this and even identify all those outliers. When you have a report and then you are seeing 10 million, 10 million, 10 million, and then one item is saying 500 billion, then you'll be like, what's going on here? So it can easily detect corruption anomalies. And the community data, this is the one that concerns the citizens, infrastructure needs. Based on the community data, population, where are they? What are they doing? So what do they need there? Do they need sports arena? Do they need schools? Do they need hospital? So we don't just go there and say, oh, the people of Dagaga now, I think what they need now is school. But in actual fact, maybe they have more schools, they've got hospital, yes, general hospital is there, they've got sport facilities, maybe they just need something else. So everything will now be guided, and we can leverage AI to help us achieve this. When we talk about higher efficiency now, I already gave examples, so I don't envy these people. When we visit some of our ministries and we go to the store, I think they call it store, you see mountain of files and files and files. There was a time, I won't mention the state and all that, wanted to do something and they were looking for my file. You say, come back the next day, come back the next day, we couldn't find it. I'm like, what's going on here? And this is what we still have in different places. We've got mountain of files and records that before you can even understand what is going on, who will go through all these things to identify trends, to discover pattern? No. But when we are able to digitize all this, that is why for AI, the job starts from the data. If you are able to digitize some of those things first, then we can now deploy AI to help us look through and fish out seasonality, fish out patterns, fish out trends that can now help us. We can even automate, manage schedules and approval, so that people don't need to print paper. You take it to this office, it can stay there for 1 month without any movement or motion. Then you go back and back and back and back and back. You say, oh, we've not seen your memo or your file, so you need to present the file again. We can automate the process. When somebody submits a memo for approval, the person that's supposed to act on it gets notified immediately, and this will help in processing. Yes, it's really annoying. It can help process citizens' application faster. Imagine people applying for maybe CFO, or maybe applying for something from government, and then you are not even getting any response. We can set up that ball in motion that I can even see that, yes, my file has moved from here to here. This is where it is at the moment. And then this is the likely time I'm expecting a feedback. We can use tools like Copilot Studio, like ChatGPT. ChatGPT now has a whole lot of features. You can plug in resources and sources in there. Make.com, Google AI Studio, all these to simplify our workflows and be able to kind of do more. And for better engagement, I already mentioned it. We want to set up AI chatbot to respond to people. Our social media, we want to ensure that we analyze it for public sentiment. People can be, somebody can be responsible for plugging in AI on our X and on our Facebook and see what people are saying about our local government and see what people are saying about our sector, so that we get ahead of it. If it's trending or a lot of people are saying stuff about education in Lagos State, we are able to analyze the sentiment, see if it is negative or positive, and then we can be proactive and act on it. We can set up personalized notification on all those things for people. So let's imagine that Lagos using AI to predict traffic, to optimize the roads, to track waste and to plan housing. So this is the Lagos we want to see. And that Lagos cannot just happen without what we are doing today. That is why, again, I'm saying it, I applaud us for kind of putting this together. The human upgrade. So AI and public servants. If the public servants are well equipped, then we have one leg in already. Then we will be able to do it. So AI, don't let us see it as, oh, it's coming in to take our jobs. Yes, people that are not ready to innovate, it will probably push them out. But if you are there, you know how to leverage AI, use it, then you will always remain relevant. It will create smarter roles for us as civil servants. So we start enjoying ourselves too. So every Lagos public servant has something AI cannot replace. I want us to know that every public servant has something AI cannot replace. It could be your judgment, it could be your empathy, it could be your creativity. But if you now plug in AI with your judgment, your empathy, your creativity, then you become valuable. But if you don't even have that judgment, empathy, creativity, you've got nothing, and you don't even have AI, such person or persons will now be afraid that AI will take them out of business. So let's imagine combining all the things that I mentioned, judgment, empathy, combine them with the power of data and automation. That's the new definition of a smart civil servant. So it's not to take your job, it takes limits of your work. So the real question is, are we ready to evolve from paperwork to purposeful work? If we are ready, then we want to jump on AI literacy. Then we want to upskill. So AI literacy ensures no one is left behind in the digital transformation. And I think what we're doing now is part of the upskilling process. We want to stay relevant for today and for tomorrow. So how do we now upskill? I'm kind of getting to the end now. How do we upskill now? AI literacy is key. I was at the NUJ's conference, and after the panel, one very old journalist experience, they've been there, said, people are now using it to do fake news, they are doing this to do deep fake and all that. I said, AI literacy is not just knowing how to use AI. AI literacy involves knowing what AI is, acknowledging its limits, and then you are guiding against the challenges, and you also know the risk involved. It is the long spectrum. You know what AI is, you know the pros, you know the cons. So there is no invention that will not have its own pros and its own cons. But when we are able to learn very well, then we know the risk, we know that there are risks involved, and we'll be able to mitigate against it. So we need AI literacy, understanding how AI works, understanding the limitation of AI, understanding the risk involved in using artificial intelligence. So that's the first thing. Then the second will now be data management. So how can you collect and use accurate data? Because without accurate data, I tell you, everything we are saying, we just debubble ourselves. Because if you're building your model on wrong data, it's garbage in, garbage out. So how do we collect data? Please, even in our schools, in our schools, I know teachers that will just take the attendance register and just say, and start marking, pam, 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 without even verifying. That's just an example of data collection. Or maybe in our own various offices, instead of collecting data, we just put something there and say, let's go. We need to now pay so much attention to data, gathering. We need accurate data so that when we plug in AI, it will not just be messy. If you have bad data and you plug in AI, we are multiplying the chaos, by 100. We will just scatter everything. Then automation, when we have the literacy, we have good data, then we can consider automation. You want to automate some of the boring things you do, some of the tasks you do every now and then. You want to automate it, to relieve yourself and focus more on something. And then we back it up with good policy and ethics, ensuring fair and transparent use of data. That is also important. So when one officer learns, the entire system benefits. I'll say again, when one officer learns, the entire system benefits. Lagos can become Africa's model of a future-ready government if we start now. So when we now upskill, all of us will upskill, we are already building that smarter tomorrow. The Lagos we all dream of is a city that works for everyone. AI can now help predict flood before they happen, can now optimize traffic routes in real time, and make government communication more personal. But none of this happens by magic. It happens through people like you learning, experimenting, leading this change. The more AI literate our workforce becomes, the more intelligent Lagos will be. Our people, they want government that listens. AI gives us that power. They want government that listens. AI gives us that power. So we can now begin to build. Yes, all those things you're putting in the chat are legit. At the hospital, you want to put EMR there so that, you've got data that we can use. And when we upskill and we are now using AI, we must be using it responsibly. So let's be honest, AI is powerful, but without responsibility, it can harm it. It can harm us. We must ensure fairness, privacy, we must ensure privacy, accountability in how we use data. Every civil servant must ask, is this decision fair? Is this data protected? We don't want to drop my data in a place and before I know it, somebody somewhere has access to it, using it for something else. Citizens trust us with their information. We must protect it with integrity. Responsible AI builds trust, and trust is the foundation of effective governance. If that is eroded, the people will not trust us, no matter how sophisticated we try to be. Every one of us must use AI responsibly. We don't want to do make the same mistake we made when the internet became a thing in Nigeria, and our younger people, they started learning from all those brothers in the city, all those brothers that would just teach them the wrong use of this tool. So we must teach responsible use of AI side by side with how to use AI. So your call to action after this session now is for us to experiment. Start using AI tools for daily tasks. Pick one tool, just one tool that you believe that pick a problem and then look for a tool to help you solve that problem. Experiment. Look at one challenge in your office. Look for one tool, start with just one that can help you. If it is ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, how can you help me write a better memo? How can you help me save the time that I'll be going back and forth from my office to the director's office, complaining about my write-ups every now and then? How can I use it to summarize the bulk, content that people are sending every day? How can I use it to automate some of the processes that I do? How can I use it as a teacher, for engaging more with my students, for teaching them differentiation and ensuring that I still promote academic integrity in the class. Then learn, take courses online. The biggest library, you've got internet, you've got AI, you also have YouTube. So you can go there, watch videos on how people are using AI, and then you learn. Then you can now propose. Suggest one AI idea in your department. So don't just take it in and not act on it. Don't forget, Greater Lagos is what we are all talking about. So if you learn and you know all these things and you cannot propose and take action, then we won't even feel it. So you are no longer just the executors, you are the architects of digital transformation in Lagos. So learn to use AI tools, let AI handle routine tasks so you can focus on leadership, innovation, and serving people. AI literacy is no longer optional. It is the new professional currency. So AI is not the future, it is the present. Public service must evolve to meet the citizens' expectation. So finally, from me, the story of governance is changing. It is no longer about who works hardest, but who works the smartest. And AI gives us the chance to rewrite what public service means in Lagos. Let us move from paperwork to purpose, from routine to results. AI will not take our jobs, it will take away the limits of what we can do. It will make our offices more efficient, our decisions more informed, and our citizens more engaged. So the future of civil servants is not a worker, it's not just a worker, they are thinkers, a designer of systems that make life easier for every negotiator. So as we leave this room, let us remember that AI is not a distance tool. It is here in our email, in our data, in our processes, waiting for us to use it wisely. The question is no longer will AI shape governance, but will we shape AI to serve Lagos? Let us choose to lead the future together. So thank you once again for having me. Well done to the agency that is floating this. Thank you. I wish all of us the best.
Wow, 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 wow. Please let us put the emojis together. Let us put the hands together. Let us send the reactions to a powerful and well articulated and well prepared and well delivered presentation by the enigmatic Mr. Olalekan Adeeko. A lot to unwrap. A lot has been said. And if personally I was looking forward to something, I must say that I have not been disappointed, and I'm pretty sure that you lot have not been disappointed as well. Mr. Olalekan Adeeko, thank you so very much for all that you have taught us this morning. We have indeed learned from it. The 10 o'clock, is it still sacrosanct, sir?
Yeah, maybe just 10 minutes
Okay, good.
extra.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that people will want to ask questions, and I wouldn't want to deny them. So, because Mr. Alalekon is pressed for time, I would, put my own summary aside, and then let's just take one or two questions, because we must not let him go without getting one or two feedback from you as well. So, if you want to ask a question, just to raise up your hand just raise up your hand electronically, and I'll call you. I'll see your name. So, let me see. Okay, the first person that please just hold on, just hold on. I'm trying to open the I think I have a network challenge here. Okay, so the first person that I can see here, I'm sorry, my network is acting up. Okay, I also just said the person whose name I first saw, that is Ajanoku something. My network is acting up. The person with the name Ajanoku, can you please unmute yourself and ask your question briefly? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah.
Okay, so if the person is not ready, there is a Rocco. I'm sorry, I am finding it difficult to open up the list, but there is a Rocco. Okay, Ajanaku is here. Okay, go on, Ajanaku. Ajanaku Alimat. Ajanaku Alimat, you have the floor, please.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Can I go ahead while we're waiting for Ajanaku?
All right. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olalekan, for a brilliant presentation. I'm very, very proud of what you've done. And I'm happy to inform you that in Lagos, we are actually doing a lot with AI. As a matter of fact, we have the AI guideline portal. Mr. Governor recently launched the digital service platform as well for AI, and we're already using it. So you are very much on point. I'll give you some instances and then I'll allow other people to speak. In Last Rap, we're already documenting some of our archives or history in Last Rap. We're using AI. We have the Citizens Gate, right, which we use to engage citizens. We use chatbots as well on that. We have a command center at LASWA and LASMA and Neighborhood Watch. And these are live programs that you can engage today as we speak. Even in health, we have our